Before my brother Alex went into the service, uh, he was a county agent. He went to Rutgers University and got his degree in agriculture, and he became a county agent in Massachusetts. And after when the war was drafting people, he got drafted, so he served in Europe. And one of the things that he was supposed to do was supposed to become like an espionage from Yugoslavia. So they sent him to Yugoslavia actually, I think he was in Fort Lewis here in Washington, and they were training him in a special unit to be like a spy in Yugoslavia. And since he knew some Slavic language, the Yugoslavian language is similar, it has a lot of similarity. So he learned to speak the Yugoslav language, and he was supposed to be sent over to Yugoslavia, and then from there be like a base to operate to infiltrate the German army and whatever, and have their intelligence. But then they got in 1942, things got so bad in Europe that Germany actually was winning the war, so they disbanded a lot of schools, and he was one of them. And so they needed somebody to take care of equipment to be sent up to the front. So he became in what they call ordnance. So they would repair and prepare equipment to be sent to wherever the action was. So after the war, when the war ended more or less, he had a little tour of Europe, and he wound up in France. And since he was interested in agriculture and the work he was doing as a county agent, he went to France, and he noticed that they had these white turkeys on the ranges. And he knew from the experience that on the farm, when we grew up on a farm, that we couldn't raise the brown, what they call bronze broad-breasted turkeys. You had to put them on wire cages, so they couldn't touch the ground. So anyway, when he saw these white turkeys on the pastures, he asked the farmer about that. He says, don't they get diseases from the ground? The man said, no. He said, they're just fine. So they fed them on the range, and they let them, roam on the range and everything else. So when he came back to the States, he came back to California, and there was a friend of his in California that had a pretty good sized farm, and he told him about the white turkeys. So he told him, he said, why don't you get some eggs or, the poults and raise some white turkeys, because they can be raised on a range. So the man did it, and it was so successful that they started importing more and more, and to this day, that's what the turkeys that are used in Thanksgiving and turkey dinners and all that are white turkeys that are raised on ranges. And he actually became editor of two magazines called the Turkey World and Broiler Growing.
And his name was Alex Gorduke?
Alex. And so he toured the whole country lecturing farmers and agricultural people on the white turkey and the broiler growing. And in fact, there was, I think it was, what was that? Colonel Sanders, remember they served chicken. And one of the things that Colonel Sanders was very interested in his work was because they needed a whole big supply of chickens. So he decided to introduce broilers all over the country. And one of the biggest industries in Georgia, North Georgia, is broiler growing. And they supply the meat for like Chick-fil-A and Colonel Sanders and whoever uses chickens in their menus. So he was very instrumental
What's
in
the brand?
getting the turkeys into this country, the white turkey, and making the broiler growing a big industry.
What's the brand?
Pardon?
Do you know the brand?
The brand?
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't have any brand. He just told people to do it. He would he would go to these different county agents in different parts of the country and talk to them and tell them to push the growing of broilers and stuff, and they would have contracts with these companies that serve chicken. So he was instrumental in that.
Cool.